Rap circle. I'm better than you. Period. Not at all concerned what it hit for, cause I've still come to raise hell like Mephisto. Please don't front, cause I'll karate chop your lymph node. Noodle arm punk, you punch and end up with your wrist broke. Don't need a 4-heater, but you come 4 feet approach me. I'm summoning focus of Gogeta. Slight work, so imagine me chilling when folks meet up, cause my purpose to have me relaxing with both feet up. Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on a Smith machine, but my Maxwell and I ain't speaking about the pretty wings. Watch your potty mouth or clean it out with the Listerine. I got a list that mean eclipsing me is not an instant thing. You about as generic as antihistamines. Listening is not your strong suit, that's why you fiddling. Focus on the wrong stuff, your bluff is getting bucked. What you are witnessing is greatness. Outpacing these cats that I'm racing are not cheaters. They house cats are straying outdated. Rhymes got as much meat as about a raisin, just face it. While I'm steady on the track, you with your bags at the station. What I'm rated? S-class minimum. You sad synonym, cause I'll bag 10 of them. And you brag at denim, but your impact is minimal. I toe tag in intervals with no lag precision, that critical, you imbecile. I'm at the tall figures. I don't even wanna be involved with you the way I am, because I want it all quicker. And I ain't stopping till the family all richer. Not gonna lie, yeah, I'm at the tall figures. I don't even wanna be involved with you the way I am, because I want it all. I'm not convinced it ain't no acting or accident what the track emits. You strapped with gas that you ain't even practiced with. The fact is, you couldn't hit the target the size of a tractor. Kid, relax and retract it, cause all that rapping biz is blind sight. And that explains what your mind like. Refraining from looking down your iron sight. Some training will get your line right using that 9 tight. Straining your spine, think it's okay, but rewind, cause your shooting stance is trash. Probably cause you didn't have a father, so your partner slid you a Sig Sawyer. Now a lawyer is trying to keep you from getting life. Fighting who is loyal, cause you hit an innocent boy. So boy, you in hell covered in soil. Y'all need to think more with your mouth closed. You the result of a man not in the household. That's why you so violent and you seeking out foes. Nobody taught you how to be a man. Lash it out though, because you actually hating yourself. It's a way to get help and not decay in a cell. I used to wait in that hell until I made it myself. And now I'm slaying my L's and how I'm taking what's left. Got the blueprint, study my movement. More than the 2 cents. Was losing, now I'm oozing with success. Now I got the tools to beat the stress. I lose cause I'm a step ahead of you with no contest. I'm a better rapper, plus I'm smarter than you, you a miss. Not gonna lie, I'm at the tall figures. I don't even wanna be involved with you the way I am, because I want it all quicker. And I ain't stopping till the family all richer. Not gonna lie, yeah, I'm at the tall figures. I don't even wanna be involved with you the way I am, because I want it all quicker. And I ain't stopping till the family all richer.
Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess mask off. He's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. No threat to our Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess mask off. He's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand.
What up, everybody? Welcome to Cannon Speaks. I am Cannon Hotep. I'm happy you guys could join me tonight. I know it's Friday and you guys could be anywhere right now, but y'all hanging out with me, and I appreciate you guys. if you are new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. You know, YouTube got me all shadow banned and everything. So they haven't even put my stream out there yet. They haven't put any notifications out there yet, actually. So like I said, hit that share button. Let people know we're live. I really appreciate it. I got a special show for you guys tonight. We got the one and only Rhonda Mary in the building. I appreciate her taking time out of her schedule to chop it up with me. I've been wanting to get on the channel for a while, and I'm happy I'm able to get it on here today. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to size this thing up now because you know how OBS be acting. Let me see. There we go. I know y'all call me boomer tech and all that and other stuff. 1 second. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, let's get to it. Let's give Miss Rhonda Mary a round of applause, everybody. How you doing today? Did you have a good day today? You muted. Got the mute button on. There we go.
I said it's been okay. It's been a day, you know.
Yeah, I hear that. Been a busy day.
Just life. People been going off on me on Twitter today, but hey, that's just pretty much a regular Friday for me.
Yeah, I'm sure that's par for the course. You know what I mean? Man, it's been a busy day for me. My daughter's birthday is on Tuesday, so you know, she turning 14. So I guess birthdays are a really big deal now. Hairdo and outfit and.
Oh my God, you killing me with the Baltimore twos and dudes. I can't take it. Oh my goodness.
I can't help it. That's just my accent. I be trying to mask it. I try to mask it all the time.
Oh, it's not working. That's like me trying to mask my accent. It's like not happening. It's not happening.
It don't work at all. I just, gotta embrace it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot better than it used to be because this used to be a lot thicker than this. Anyway, so got a few questions for you, and we're gonna get into some current event topics I wanted to get your thoughts on. So why don't you tell my audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you do and what you advocate for on social media.
What you do? So hey y'all, I am Rhonda Mary. I am a YouTuber, political and social commentator, and a Second Amendment advocate. And so I actually started on YouTube first talking about political and social topics, and then simultaneously, as I was already becoming more open to the idea of being a firearms owner, because I was learning more about history and the Second Amendment and just so much, the Constitution. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm a little bit more open to this gun thing. And I ended up being in a hit and run / road rage, kind of tumultuous incident that, after that, I just was like, yeah, this is the time. It made sense now. And as I was learning more about gun ownership and what it means to be a responsible gun owner, I was like, okay, I gotta take other people on this journey. I gotta talk about this more. And so I started doing that, and people were really receptive to it. And since then, it's just been up. So
I hear that. I mean, when I came across you, this was pre the Cove base. Got us, codec since we on YouTube. They like to strike me. But I was sitting at my desk. I was a system administrator at the time. And, we don't, us IT people really don't do no real work. We just wait for stuff to break. So I'm sitting at my desk and I'm just scrolling through YouTube, and I came across some of your videos. And I think this is back when I think you would sit in front of like your bed or something, and then you would just give your thoughts, right? Your hot takes.
Oh,
and I was
Lord, that was a minute ago.
And I was like, yo, that's dope, right? And I was like, I want to do that. And I'm like, I can't because of my job, and then, the Cove base hit, and then stopped being a system administrator and went back to work for my family. And then all bets were off at that point. I was like, you know what? it's time to start doing what I really want to do. But you know, you were one of the Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, Jeff Charles, Sonny Johnson. I was listening to some of her stuff on Twitter. You guys were a big part of my like getting into this. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? Just like, man, if they could do that, man, I know I can get in there in the ring. You know. Unfortunately, I came in at a time where censorship is real. You know, I think like the first month of me doing it, I got struck down. You know what I mean? And it's just been a ongoing fight, but it's worth it. Like you said, it's just trying to bring people, over from being apprehensive about either how they feel politically or about firearms. You know what I mean? Like, I know you see my wonderful wallpaper back here. My carefully curated art behind me.
Yes, so.
But like, I appreciate you coming on. So, how's your journey been as a firearms owner?
It's been interesting because of my platform. I've had the opportunity to meet and work with and network with some really, really great people. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. It's a process, man. It's a process. It's a growing thing, and you get better with time. And I'm looking forward to putting more time into it. But the journey of gun ownership has opened my eyes to so much other things. For example, like our over reliance on others and, the police and the paramedics, and really learning how sometimes they take the amount of time they take to get there, or if they even come, particularly the police, if they even show up, and just how starting to connect those dots. Because even if we look at the public school system, you have so many kids that are taught, if a bully hits you, you don't hit them back, you go tell the authority figure. And a lot of times the authority figure doesn't show up. They know these kids are being bullied, they turn a blind eye. Or if they do show up, they show up too late. Or if they do show up, it's after this person finally stood up and defending themselves, and now you want to suspend them for the same amount of time as the bully, right? And then if you turn around and look at some of our neighborhoods, you see that same exact formula, where now they're trying to make it harder for responsible gun owners that really just want to protect themselves and their families. They're trying to make it harder for us to do so and almost turn us into criminals. I recently posted something, just yesterday on my Instagram, from a New Jersey assemblyman, where he says right out of his mouth while talking about the legislation that he recently introduced. And he's like, oh yeah. I mean, this legislation is not to address the criminals. This is for the everyday, responsible, law-abiding citizen. These were his words. I
actually seen that. I seen that on your Twitter, and I had to run it back because I was like, is he really saying that quiet part out loud right now?
Yes.
Yes.
And so, it's just interesting to see the parallels. Mm-hmm. And it's just opened up my eyes to so much about human nature, about the will to fight, about different personalities, about overcoming the things that you are able to bring out in you, that you have to curate these things. It's not that they're not there, but especially for women, sometimes we have to curate that because we have been conditioned almost in the opposite of what it means to defend ourselves. I mean, especially physically, and so it's just so much. It's a very multi-layered thing. Even with women, I feel like a lot of times we put people's feelings first sometimes, and how we may feel uncomfortable. We don't want to make situations more awkward. We hate to feel awkward. We hate to feel in a tight space. And a lot of times us acquiescing or refusing to take up space, stand up for ourselves, vocalize when we're feeling uncomfortable, leaves the potential for things to happen and people to take advantage of us. And so even the narrative is so many women that think, oh, well, even if women do stand up for themselves, when they do say something, they just end up killed. They just end up hurt. But the actual truth of the matter is that, especially when it comes to sexual violence, people are way less likely to try to take advantage of you if you even try to put up a fight. I mean, majority of women I won't say majority, but a lot of women just don't. They think, oh, if I just go along with it, if I just, don't say too much, if I just don't anger him, maybe he'll change his mind, or maybe it won't be as bad. And that's not the case. A lot of times, just like going back to the bully at the school, they're looking for you to be compliant. They're looking for you to not stand up for yourself. They know that the administrators are telling you, you're not supposed to hit the bully back, right? And a lot of times we internalize these very things that don't really help us in the long run.
No, I completely agree. I mean, compliance and like bullies take care of people. They take advantage of people who don't say nothing, who don't stand up to them. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. When my parents, when I was a kid, somebody picked me and my father said, go bust them in the mouth. Even if you lose the fight, you got respect. You know what I mean? Even if but at least you fought them back and they know that you're not going to put up with it. You know what I mean? Now, with women, I'm a big advocate of self-defense, right? Even, firearm or not, like, I feel like women should take some kind of martial art. You know what I mean? Whether it be jujitsu, or Krav Maga, or whatever, you know what I mean? Just being able to fight somebody off you until help comes, or until you maim them enough to, I'm all for women maiming people. I'm sorry, I don't give a nobody say. If you gotta maim them, I'm 315 pounds, right? You're not gonna stop a guy like me coming after you, right? So you gotta do what you gotta do to get a person off of you. And a lot of women, they don't understand that, it's important to know how to defend yourself and not give in to that pressure or the potential for that to become, I guess, for lack of a better term, an unsavory situation, I guess I should say. Because if you just sit there and you don't say nothing, or you just sit there and you let the person just inch in, and now you're in a position you really don't want to be in, you know what I mean? And it just keeps happening. You have to stand up for yourself whenever it happens. And I completely agree. And I'm all for, like, for example, like my wife, I want her to shoot more, right? I want her to go to the range with me more. My biggest fear is coming home and her and the kids are stretched out on the floor. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't here or whatever. So I have that talk with her a lot, where it's like, hey, I'm going to the range, you want to go? Or, I even built her, a specific rifle, and, she has a Glock 17. I made sure the Glock and the rifle take the same magazine, so she don't got to think about what goes where. And I said, and I'm like, we got a game plan. I'm like, somebody comes in this house, you get to the top level.
You're busy.
Right. You get to that top level, you put the kids in one of the rooms, and anybody breach that step, you send some shots down that way. We can replace the drywall. You know what I mean? But you got to have that game plan. You got to be willing to defend your life by any means necessary. And I know a lot of women don't want to think about having to, potentially take a life or put somebody in the hospital, but it's, you got to have that, in my opinion, that me or you mentality when it comes to certain situations, and that's why, I like when I see your Instagrams and you're giving those little gems on how to carry with a skirt, or with, how to, still be, womanly. You ain't got to, dress like no guy just to carry your gun and stuff like that, or the little gems you give on, safe storage or gun etiquette. I think what you do is really needed. I think the only other I think the only other YouTuber I've ever seen that really focused on that is like American Gun Chick. You know what I mean? But you know, but as far as like, you know, with our community, we need a Rhonda Mary for the women to go and reference and say, okay, this is cool. Cause like when friends of mine or people I come across, like women who want to get a gun or who just got a gun, when they're like, so what should I get, or how do I do this? I refer them to your channel. I refer them to your channel and your Instagram, because I feel like here we go. There's somebody they can relate to, and you know, and I'm sure, you know, the way you do it, the way you come across, the way you put the message across is really it's entertaining, and you know, they can I think they get a lot out of it in that short period of time. You know what I mean? So
thank you so much for that, because I really worked on having to, I'm like, all right, how can I do this? You know what I mean? And my biggest thing was finding my lane. We already got the sexy gun bunnies. We already have the girls that were prior military or police, so they're like super tactical out. And I'm like, there's a whole market that's really not being served, at least from what my eyes were seeing. And that's majority of gun owners are just everyday people. They do not have a military background. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm just like, okay, I don't want to have to look like a guy, you know, dress like a guy. I don't want to have to feel like Rambo or G.I. Jane or any of these other things to get the point across. So kind of maintaining, you know, my own thing and my own unique style and personality, and making people feel like, okay, this can be applicable to your everyday life without going overboard and looking like a FUD or, you know, a walking like Smith & Wesson billboard or something.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. You know, like with me, I want to get into that lane. I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? You know, I know Maj, he does a lot with Black Guns Matter, where he's teaching people how to get legal. And that's kind of the lane I want to kind of get in, especially for like, for example, I live in Baltimore, right? Liberal stronghold. You know, if it wasn't for the Supreme Court ruling, you needed to be a business owner just to even have a concealed carry license here in Maryland, right? You know,
That's
lucky
crazy.
it's really crazy. Like it's like applying for the federal government. Like when I got my concealed carry for Maryland, luckily my family, we own a business, so I was able to do that. But they want like 6 months of like bank statements. They want your tax ID. They need references. Like I legit thought I was applying for like the state troopers or something crazy.
Think about the messaging that sends to people, right?
Right.
The fact that if you are an employee and not an employer, it creates a permanent underclass. Because you are an employee, your life is not as important as your employer. Like even the messaging, the foundation of that messaging, when we really think about it and break it down, is so absurd. It's so absurd. It's offensive. It's anti-American. It's anti, you know, middle class. It's anti-poor. It's anti-veteran. I mean, so many things. Anti-black, anti-woman. Yep. Like it's so ridiculous to give these people the authority to choose who they believe life is more or least important.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. Raider Nation Unlimited. What's going on, Jonesy? $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. He says, bro, women will take you out first when the kids are at stake. Hey, that's what it needs to be. You know what I mean? Like my wife, she when I say she ultra Christian, she ultra Christian. She just came back from Oklahoma down there at Transformation Church, had a wonderful time. It was super nonviolent, but I'm like, look, these kids, you better murk somebody over these kids, you know. So I hope that for any woman that maternal instinct, that mama bear nature kicks in, you know. But like you were saying, yeah, and I say that all the time. I used to say it in my stream. I'm like, why is my $800 or $1,100 iPhone more important than, you know, somebody else's $1,100 iPhone? You know what I mean? And it never made sense to me. You know what I mean? Especially in a city like Baltimore, where every year we got 300 plus murders in a city that's less than 500,000 people. You know, per capita, we're one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. You know what I mean? And I never understood that, and I was like, why wouldn't, you know, this is as a kid, you know, I'm like, why wouldn't you want a gun? Like, they shooting at us. We want to shoot. Don't we want to shoot back? You know what I mean? And it just never made sense to me. But, you know, when I was coming up, the stigma was always that guns are bad, guns are bad, guns are bad. You know, don't touch that. I had a BB gun, right? My mom bought me a BB gun. Grandmother lost her mind. You know what I mean? Like, why does he have that? And it was a BB gun. You know, airsoft came around and became popular. Why does he have that? And I just never understood it. You know, like, criminals, like, they gonna do what they gonna do. They don't care about the law, right? You can put as many laws as you want on the books. Criminals don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? All you're doing is hamstringing, you know, the law-abiding citizen, right? And we see that with these laws they're trying to pass now. As you can see in the background, I had to take my pistol braces off of my pistols, just so I'm not, you know, a felon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's these arbitrary laws that, like I said, hamstring the law-abiding citizens and make them soft targets. You know what I mean? Like, here in Baltimore, I guarantee it, because most of these kids, and I tell people all the time, they cowards. They cowards. They carry them because they know nobody else got it, right? For the most part, I guarantee you, if they know they're gonna get shot back at, a lot of that'll stop. You know what I mean? Now, fortunately, you're in a, you know, a state where you guys have, you know, you could get your concealed carry without going through those hoops and all of that red tape. You know, like we do here in Maryland and DC and New York did and all that other stuff. You know, so you know you're one of the lucky ones, I should say. But do you find that it's more, and I tell people this because I feel this way, I feel like it's more of a hassle to conceal carry every day. I feel like it's more of a responsibility to conceal carry every day. Like, people just think you walk out the house, phone, wallet, keys, gun, and everything's all good. Like, when you strap, you know, you got to be really mindful of everything. Your tone, whether you're aggressive, stuff like that. You find that it's like more, I guess, for lack of a better term, not a headache, but like, you got to be more responsible when you have your gun on you.
For me, yeah, I mean, yeah. I can't deny. I mean, you have to be more responsible, right? Because you can't like leave it in the restroom after you leave out the restroom. You can't, or you shouldn't start fights, you know, and all these other things. So yes, I do agree that it absolutely makes you more responsible and aware. I think that over time you also kind of get used to it too, where it just becomes a part of your thing. Like, just like you wouldn't leave the house without your phone or your keys, or for me, in my case, my lip gloss or something like that. You know, it just becomes a part of this everyday carry system. But it absolutely, I mean, it does make you responsible, but I feel like it's another word that I'm looking for. It does make you responsible. It'll come to me.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the correct word to say. Like, you know, like when I leave, so for example, I drive all day long, right? So I have to be wary of what state lines I'm crossing, right? I got to be wary of where I am if I can have my gun there. You know what I mean? I have to be mindful if somebody acts up wherever I'm at, that I'm kind of trying to de-escalate because I don't want to be the aggressor, especially in Maryland where we have a duty to retreat. We don't have stand your ground here. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's easy for me to, like, without it, to be like, yo, what you say? You know what I mean? Versus if I got it, I'm like, all right, you got it, bro. You got it. You know, you got the argument, bro. I don't want no smoke, because I have to. because I have the monopoly on power. So I have to be more cognizant.
Or maybe it is a good idea to always think that way. They may have just as much firepower as you. You never know.
That is true.
And that's another aspect of it. This saying is, an armed society is a polite society. It's the idea that just as much as you think you could do harm to this person, like, if need be, they could do the same to you. And I don't want the trouble that I know I could possibly cause. So let me walk away.
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah, especially here in Baltimore, because you see the kids walking around with the fanny pack over their shoulder and across their chest. You see any dude in Baltimore with that joint, he's strapped, guaranteed. So I gotta be careful of it. Like, it depends on where you are. Like,
why do they carry that way? Like, what's the reason?
I guess they wear the skinny jeans and they not used to they don't have holsters. Like, they don't have holsters, so they have it in they little fanny pack, and they're not supposed to have it anyway. So it's easy to ditch that or whatever. Now I wear like a chest rig across my chest because I work and I keep mine there sometimes, versus having it on my hip, simply because like I'm either sitting in my truck and it's kind of hard to kind of reach around the seatbelt and grab it, or if I'm in the forklift or whatever like that. When I'm not at work, it's on my hip. But like most guys, like they have it here. I don't know if it's just a trend, but I know that it's just easier for them to ditch it or whatever if the police come, versus having it on a person. But 9 times out of 10, if they got they fanny pack across their chest, more than likely here in Baltimore, they got something on them. You know what I mean? And it makes you, like I said, it puts you on alert, especially because most of the guys ain't supposed to have it here. Now, like I said, every city varies, but like I said, it's a violent city here, But you're right. I have to, like, it's great to think like that, especially, like I said, knowing that most of these guys probably, depending on where I'm in Baltimore, they might be strapped up too. So
right.
It's kind of like, I should concede. Should concede the point, de-escalate until they leave me no choice, and hopefully they don't leave me. Hopefully they leave me like some bail, so I can get out of that situation.
Right.
Art Dog with a $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, sir. He says Rhonda just got a new subscriber. I hear that. If you're not following Rhonda Mary on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, what are y'all doing? Go over there and subscribe to her channel. She just, I promise you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. So, question: are you having any issues with like your content getting out to the masses with YouTube? Or have you been a victim of the ban hammer or the shadow ban train?
I was a victim of it a few years ago. So probably the year going into Joe Biden's election, I was feeling it a lot. Like, even though my subscribers were growing, so first of all, the algorithms used to be different. When you would post a video on YouTube, if you were first or if you were getting a good number of views, your video would show up on Google. Like, that was a thing. So for example, if I was to talk about the Kyrie Irving video, and that one would be a little bit harder because it's more widespread, but let's just say like a random, I don't know, political topic. Nothing's coming to my mind right now. But if I was one of the first people to talk about it and then actually get a good amount of my subscribers to watch it, it would show up on Google and it would be right next to CNN, MSNBC. Like, that was a casual thing because it being in the video algorithm under Google. Well, eventually they started changing all that stuff. They started making it harder, so they will give you strikes for like saying certain words. They wouldn't monetize you for saying certain things. And then at that point, they started like doing checks on the video. I don't even know what all that includes, but kind of combing through, you know, these contents to kind of see what the overall theme of your stuff is. And so I absolutely dealt with that. I went from making videos a couple times a week to right now I'm only focused on, I do one live every week on Tuesday nights, and now I'm mostly focusing on my Instagram. I'm putting my time and energy into that, and I've been able to see the benefits from it. For me, YouTube was getting discouraging because you will spend all that time researching, putting content together, putting all the time into it, buying the equipment, the lights, everything that goes into it. And some videos just wouldn't do well and some would. And it could be very discouraging when you're feeling like you put in the time and the effort in. And so instead of continuing to do that, I could have fought through it, you know what I mean? But instead of continuing to do it with everything else that I have going on right now, it just made more sense to me, I can make 10 Instagram videos, reels in one day. And in a day, I can get anywhere from 50 to, 300, 400 followers, just depending on what the content is. So to me, it just it made more sense for my situation. Now, in the back of my head, I would love to just do YouTube and every day put out 2 and 3 videos. But I just was weighing my pros and cons, and I'm like, and some days I don't even really feel like talking. I'm like, okay, on Instagram, I can point at letters, I can show my hands, I can put text on the screen, I can use voiceovers. It's just way more stuff that I can do for a better return, at least I believe. Now, at some point, hopefully, if I have more time, I hope to kind of do both. But I have yet to see anybody that doesn't have a actual team that can do all of these platforms equally. I just haven't seen them. Yeah, the bigger YouTubers, their Instagram platforms are usually not as big, or vice versa. Unless, like I said, they have a team of people that they work with every day that's doing the editing, that's, helping them with topics, helping them with the research. Right now, I'm a one-woman show, so it just makes it a little challenging for me.
Yeah, I understand that, definitely. Yeah, I do all my editing, everything like that. I do got the back in the Hotep Nation with Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep, where, we all, spread each other's, content, throughout the social media sphere and stuff like that. But it's tough, like you said, for example, right?
Uncle Hotep blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, what? What you doing, yo? Why you blocked Rhonda?
I know why he blocked me on Twitter.
Hey, yo, Unc, I know you're going to see this stream, yo. Rhonda want to know why you blocked her, yo.
I've never interacted with him on Twitter. And somebody mentioned him the other day. Somebody added him, and I clicked on his name, and I'm like, why am I blocked? So yeah, what is that about?
I'm about to find out. Hold up.
I'm like, okay.
Let's see if he responds. But yeah, it's
literally, I think I found out maybe 3 days ago, 4 days ago. So it's no telling how long he had me blocked. I might have been blocked for 6 months, a year, who knows?
Who knows, right?
I was just like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, Unc, unblock Rhonda, man. What you doing, yo? What happened? I don't think he'd be blocking like that. I don't know. I know there's a couple times where I went to his page to see something, and I was unfollowed from him, and I'm like, why am I unfollowed? But who knows? We'll see. But So have you made that switch to Rumble at all when you do your lives?
I now have. I set it up where my YouTube videos just automatically go there, and I haven't even checked. I need to go look over there and see what's going on. I don't really know the inner workings or like how to get my videos out. I guess I just market it and just tell people, hey, I'm on Rumble now. If you're on Rumble, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it goes?
So for example, right, we about to start talking about some current events that I don't feel comfortable talking about with a YouTube, especially since we got 40 of us and counting got suspended. Like
from Rumble?
From YouTube.
Oh.
And all for this, like with little detective work, because you know they're vague as hell when they suspend you. They don't tell you why. They don't tell you what in the video got you suspended. They just give you a title of your video. They take the video down and say, yeah, you suspended. So we're speculating that it was because we all did a review on that Jerron Davison ad. Remember that? Where he was sitting at his breakfast table and the KKK come through his yard and he walked outside with the AR.
Oh yeah.
So we all reviewed, like all of us reviewed that video. We played it on our streams, like just ran, like I think Chrissy Mayer, Legal Mindset, Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus did it. So it was like 40 of us and counting. I don't know how many other people. I think the quartering maybe, and we all got suspended that week. And they wouldn't say what it was, but we all had in common that we all reviewed that campaign ad. And we all gave it a positive review, and we all got suspended, and those videos got taken down.
But they not tripping when Gary Chambers shoot the KKK. Didn't he shoot the KKK too?
I think you're right on that. I believe you're right on that.
Or something similar.
Right. It could be because Jerron said that it was the Democrats and hoods. Who knows? But we all were like, yo, it's got to be that. It has to be that. Because we weren't talking about anything else other than Brittany Griner, and I can't see that. Like my other Brittany Griner videos still live, and we all were talking about that. So YouTube definitely been, I would call it suppressing, or maybe doing a little bit of meddling for these midterms coming up. But that's just my opinion on that. But so like what I'm about to do now, right? We're gonna go over to Rumble for some exclusive content. The link is in the description. Natasha, can you do me a favor, jump in my description and put the link in the chat as well? We're gonna head over to Rumble with some more exclusive content. We get ready to cut this YouTube stream. I ask that you guys follow us over there. So right now we got 18 over in Rumble right now. So everybody on YouTube, head on over to Rumble, hit that link in the description. Natasha getting ready to put it in the chat. I appreciate you guys. For YouTube, it's Canon Hotep saying stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. I ain't got nothing else to say after that. Stay strapped, everybody.